Welcome back to Roosters. It's time for part 2 of our barrel-aged and Imperial Stout comparison. Alright everybody, welcome back. This is part 2 of a comparison video. So if you haven't seen part 1 in which we reviewed Steady Break, go check that out now. We've got Gap Year Mary, Bottle Logic Brewing's back. This time they took Steady Break and barrel-aged it. This is an Imperial Stout brewed with lactose, aged in bourbon barrels, and finished with cacao nibs and peanuts. Candy bar inspired stout, Snickers, as I mentioned in the last video. The food pairings are Montasio, chicken satay, Snickers pie.
What the heck is a Snickers pie?
A Snickers that you beat it up, put it into a pie probably.
You can't beat up Snickers. There's caramel in there.
Break it all up. The director's notes for this, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Steady Break is all grown up and off to college after this brief interlude.
Okay.
This is batch number 1 and the only time they've made this beer, back in 2020. Pandemic times, got this during quarantine. The alcohometer still on here. Mary, you want to venture a guess as to the alcohol percentage?
Okay, Steady Break was 10.
Yes.
This is a bourbon
barrel-aged
Imperial Stout, and it's Bottle Logic. I feel like Bottle Logic just like does things more.
They kick it up a notch.
Yeah, so like if
BAM!
if this was like just a bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Stout from like the brewery or somebody, I would say 12 or maybe 13.
We've had Black Tuesday.
Okay, maybe the brewery was a bad. It was a bad, but I think they just do it more.
Right.
I think it's a 14.
Okay.
14 and a half.
I'm covering up the alcohol percentage so you can't see it.
14
but,
and a half.
yeah, this is what the label looks like. It's okay. Nothing too...
What is that supposed to be?
Yeah, that's why I said it's just okay. I've never figured out what that is.
Is it like a joystick?
Oh,
that's
it's
on
the
here.
Joystick moving forward diagonal. Like that's what you do in a gap year. A Steady Break I could see play video games gap year, maybe not so much, but then again, it's kind of hard to put a gap year as a symbol in here.
Oh, did you take a gap year?
No.
Neither did I. What are you supposed to do during a gap year? Play.
Yeah, just hang out. Go see the world, as a lot of people do. Go to Europe. Go to wherever.
What if you're from Europe? You go to America?
Go to US, Canada, Japan. Fun fact, it came out in 2020. That was kind of a gap year for a lot of people. A lot of people just are like, 2020 didn't happen.
That's
no
what that's what it
anything.
is. That's very clever of them.
Maybe. I mean, well, I'm sure they had this aging before. They usually like to age stuff around 6 months to a year. So when this came out, I don't think they knew 2020 was going to happen.
But I mean...
It came out at a good time. It
came
is
out
convenient.
at a perfect time. I like that. I mean, I'm not in school anymore. I wasn't in school in 2020. So this 2020 was my gap year.
Yeah, it's a gap year. Well, I'm excited. You're excited. It's time to find out which is better, the barrel-aged beer or just the regular old Imperial. So that's enough talking about it. Let's get to drinking about it. All right, there are a few things in life better than opening a Bottle Logic Stout.
What are they?
Can't talk about them here on the channel.
Okay, well, I feel like I should be a year younger if I took a gap year in 2020.
What was your official guess in the alcohol percentage?
14 and a half. So
You're younger. Nope, we still all aged. So some of us.
So I should be 22.
And I'll be 17.
Wait a second.
Wait
a second. No, thank you, please. You're not 5 years younger than me, also. So.
To the nose.
Yes, there it is.
Oh yeah, that's like Bottle Logic barrel-aged stout smell. Definitely get the barrel on there. A little bit of that chocolate comes through. No peanut, I would say. I would say a little more alcohol than I'm used to getting on the nose than other Bottle Logic beers. For some reason, I'm really picking up on that alcohol this time.
I think that I get like the normal amount of alcohol from Bottle Logic, but for some reason I'm getting a little bit of the leathery smell.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. You got a little bit of the leather in Study Break, so now this is just the barrel-aged version of that beer.
But yeah, for sure, alcohol, no peanut, no coffee, chocolate,
I got a
nothing
little
like
bit
that.
of chocolate, but mostly the alcohol in the barrel.
To each his own, I guess. Mmm. Oh my god. It's a lot of alcohol, I feel like. There's no way this is a 14 and a half. This is a 14 and a half for sure. Tell me what it is right now.
14.29.
This is a lot. This tastes like alcohol. I mean, hold please.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I don't get a huge alcohol taste. I definitely can taste the alcohol as in the numbing of my tongue, but I really do get a sweetness there. There's a lot of sweetness still, I can tell. It is still this stout. Not a ton of chocolate and almost no peanut, if any.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. And when I said that there's a lot of alcohol in here, I'm not saying, oh yeah, this tastes like a great bourbon. This tastes like alcohol, like liquor, like something like, it's not like,
vodka.
Oh yes, this is a cherrywood bourbon. No, this is like liquor.
I'm happy I don't get a lot of that. That's more of what I was getting on the nose. Was that alcohol, like when you have like a vodka and smell it. That kind of smell. The taste, not so much. The aftertaste is a lot of chocolate. As we're talking, I get a lot of chocolate on the aftertaste.
Yeah, I think that what I'm tasting is liquor, and oddly enough, which I don't get it in a Snickers bar a lot, is the nougat in a Snickers.
You're getting the nougat.
Yeah.
We got nougat.
It's sweet. Maybe a little bit of the caramel too. I don't get much peanut, and I, like you said, I do get chocolate at the very end, at the aftertaste. But for some reason, I get the nougat. I don't know, because Snickers is peanut, caramel, nougat, chocolate.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't even know that I knew what nougat tastes like. But this is what
Snickers.
It is. Yeah. Well, I feel like when I eat a Snickers, it's chocolate and peanut for me, and caramel.
The nougat's kind of an afterthought.
Wait, what's Twix? Is it?
It's
Snickers?
just cookie caramel chocolate.
Wait, what's cookie?
It's the crunchy part of the bottom. It's the cookie.
What's Milky Way?
It's caramel.
It's just a
nougat
Snicker
chocolate without the peanuts.
Oh, there's
and
no
Three
peanuts
Musketeers is just marshmallow and chocolate.
There's no candy bar that's a Snickers without the nougat. Peanuts caramel.
And chocolate.
Yeah, peanuts, caramel, chocolate.
Peanut, caramel, chocolate. Babe Ruth?
Oh, really?
I think so.
I don't think I've ever had a Babe Ruth.
I think Babe Ruth is peanut, caramel, chocolate. Let me know in the comments below. What are your favorite candy bars? Do you like them?
Is it called Babe Ruth? I always call it a Baby Ruth.
A lot of people call it a Baby Ruth bar, but it's a Babe Ruth.
I call it a Baby Ruth.
I'll have to look it up. I'm not quite sure. Now that you got me second, I've called it both over my whole life, and people have called it both my entire life.
Anyway, yes, this is a sweeter stout. It's definitely still a dessert stout, but I am getting a liquor kick, which is right up my alley, and it's the sweetness from the caramel and the nougat and the chocolate at the end. This is perfect. It's a 5.
Oh, wow. A 5?
Mm-hmm.
I will say, as it's warming up now, as we've been touching it, let it sit in my mouth for a bit, I get a little bit of the peanut at the end with the chocolate.
Nope, you're wrong.
A little bit.
You're wrong. It's 5.
A lot of alcohol here, man. I can really feel the alcohol in this one. It's weird. We've had other stouts where you can't feel the alcohol as much. For some reason, this one, I can feel it. It is there. Gap year. Man. We both gave Study Break 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
You gave Gap Year a 5, so you like this more.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
I don't know.
Maybe we should take a gap year and think about it. Let it warm up a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe we'll take a study break.
Maybe we'll take a study break. Maybe we'll take a gap year. Tune in next year on Brewmatures, November, what's today? 12th? 2023. We'll be back in a year.
All right, I am well learned over my gap year. Went to Europe, came back. Woo! Do they have some good beers in Germany? Let me tell you. But as far as study break versus gap year goes, this is like choosing
one of your kids, your favorite kid. Yes.
I'm going to give gap year a 4.5 as well.
You're wrong.
I also gave study break a 4.5. But I'm going to give the tie break to, drum roll, study break. I like the Imperial Stout better because I get the chocolate and the peanut, and that's kind of what I'm here for. I want those flavors. Gap year, it is a very boozy stout, and that's something that Bottle Logic has really done over the last 2-3 years. I get a little bit of the chocolate there, but not any of the peanut. And I wish I got more chocolate from it. They do a lot of other stouts that do chocolate better, in my opinion. This one, not so much. More about the alcohol and the booziness to it, really. A little bit of sweetness to it. It's got good sweetness to it. Still a 4.5, but I gotta give the edge to Steady Break. I do like that a lot more. And it's gonna be my go-to going forward.
I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
I have so many questions for you, because let's debate this. Because
Okay.
you know, obviously, from my rating that I love this more. But in a Snickers bar, there are four components. Nougat, caramel, peanut, chocolate.
Okay.
So shouldn't you be expecting all four? And neither of these gave you all four at once.
No, because they tell you what is in it. It's mostly the peanuts and the cacao nibs, which is the chocolate peanut.
But if they're saying it's Snickers
it's
inspired, you can't just ignore.
You yourself said when you eat a Snickers, you mostly get chocolate and peanuts,
but
not the nougat
and caramel. You can't forget about the caramel.
The caramel. Yeah.
The caramel. There's another A in it. Did you not know that?
The caramel, yeah.
The caramel.
Yeah.
I think that this is such a pleasant surprise that I can get the nougat and I can get the caramel. It's the sweetness. And then, I'm drinking a beer. I'm drinking a barrel-aged Imperial Stout that is 14 point almost 3%.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you're being a little hard on this beer. I think that it has two out of the 4 ingredients, and so does Study Break.
I just get them more in Study Break.
Well, I feel like also like you said, Snickers is chocolate peanut. Like that's what you think of when you get a Snickers. So I understand. I get it.
And honestly, Gap Year's been a surprise. I've had that beer for almost 3 years at the time of filming this, and the alcohol has not gone down a lot. Usually over time it kind of mellows out. I will say this, now that we filmed this, I did not like my first bottle of that at all. Gap Year. And I'm thinking it was super boozy the first time I drank it, because I remember drinking it and not liking it. And I think it's because it was more boozy than it is now.
Okay.
That's my recollection right now, because I remember back then I thought about it and I was like, I'd rather have Study Break. Now it's a much closer comparison. If they did this beer again, I would like to see them do it, but less boozy. But that's just me. She loves the alcohol kick to it, and if you like that, that is a beer for you. If you've had these two beers somehow, let me know down in the comments below. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you prefer just by listening to us talk about them? The regular 10% Imperial Stout or the big barrel-aged 14.29% Stout? We've had a lot of fun filming this. Got a lot more like this coming down the pipeline here. Like the video. Share it with your friends. Subscribe. It helps us out. Flick the bell icon. Make it ring. And it'll let you know when we upload new videos. But until next time, we're the Brewmatures, trying every beer from around the world. One sip at a time.
This episode of Brewmatures brought to you by Vagina.
Teresa. Because if you want to destroy a whole planet, why not just throw a big fireball and cackle?
Wait, I thought his name was Frieza. If his name is Frieza, why is he throwing fireballs?
Well, it's a big ball of energy.
Shouldn't he be throwing, like, ice cubes or something if his name is Freezer?
No.
He's a freezer.
Well, his brother's name is Cooler.
Well, what about his cousin's name? Vegeta. Throws vaginas.
I forgot what his alternate form was in a different dimension, but...
Did you know that Freezer's cousin's name is Vegeta? And he throws vaginas? This guy throws fires. His boyfriend Cooler throws ice cubes.
That's his brother.
His cousin throws vaginas.
What about his father?
What's his father's name?
King Cold.
Cold. He throws rain. Rain. Like hail.
Like hail.
Yeah, like hail.
Hail's frozen rain.
Yeah, like hail. Like he throws hail. You can't throw rain. That's just throwing water. That's stupid. You gotta throw hail. But it comes out of like its finger. He comes out of his fingers like this, and it's hail.
Not his fingernails.
No, what? It's like unlimited power, but it's like hail. Yeah. Schooling you on Dragon Ball Z. You're welcome, Eric.